All right, for today's agenda, we're gonna talk about power striking. So this is good for beginners, this is good for martial artists. This is just generic self-defense power strikes that anyone can use. So let's get right into it. Here we go. All right, so the first strike we're gonna do is called the hammer fist. We also call it a bottom fist. So basically, to make a proper fist, you're gonna take your fingers, you're gonna roll your fingers up as tight into your palm as you could possibly make it. And then you're gonna take your thumb and you're gonna wrap your thumb across the front. So this is a proper way to make a fist. If you squeeze this fist nice and tight and you poke it, it should feel nice and firm. If it's a little squishy, don't worry, I still like you. All we gotta do is just work on conditioning those hands a little bit more to make them stronger. So I'm trying not to hyperextend my elbow. We're never ever gonna have a straight arm. Always have a partial bend to it. When you're doing the bottom fist, we're gonna utilize our hips and our shoulders. We're gonna wind them up facing the opposite direction where we want, and then we're gonna twist into the target. So I can maximize power when I make contact with the target. Anytime you hit a target with a power strike, you don't want to think about hitting the surface, you want to think about hitting through it. So don't aim at the target, think about what's past the target. I want to be thinking about following through so I can maximize all that power and not stop. I don't want to hit the brakes because then I'm tightening myself up and I won't get a lot of power when I hit the target. So I'm winding my hips and shoulders up. I'm gonna fold my palm to my face so I can twist and get that wrist snap. Wrist snap is the flick that you get in your wrist, like when you whip somebody with a towel. So I'm gonna put my palm to my cheek, and I'm gonna turn my hips and shoulders at the last second. I whip my fist over, squeeze it tight, hit the target, and aim to hit through it. I don't wanna hit the surface. So we call that a bottom fist. So I'm winding up hips and shoulders, I'm gonna come all the way through it, thinking about hitting through it as fast as I can possibly go. So the next technique we have is called an elbow strike. When you're doing the elbow strike though, you want to make sure, again, for beginners, you're not hitting with the point of the elbow. When we hit with an elbow strike, we're going to be aiming with the forearm. So it's just past about the 6 inches from the point of the elbow to the middle of the elbow. So we're going to be aiming with this on a forward elbow. The tricep's going to be from the tip of the elbow to the center, this meaty spot on the tricep there. That's your backwards elbow or your downward elbow. So in a situation, let's say we get in a choke, when we do this particular one, we can do a backwards elbow. So I'm going to be hitting with my tricep into the target. The same principles on a bottom fist will be there for the elbow. If someone's bear hugging me from the side, they're getting me from the back, I'm gonna wind up my hips and shoulders. Again, hips and shoulders winding up the opposite direction of where I wanna go. I'm gonna be following through to be striking through with this elbow strike. That backwards elbow isn't the most powerful of all the elbows. I wanna say the forward elbow strike is gonna be the most powerful. So when you're striking with the forward elbow, again, it's from elbow to the middle of the forearm, so you're aiming with this space of the forearm, okay, right in here. You're not aiming with the point. A lot of the times I see people put this in the front and they push with it. A push is not a strike, a push is a push. You're not gonna get anything out of a push, so I wouldn't do it. When I do the elbow strike, I wanna make sure that my positioning is correct. My feet aren't standing in a straight line. I have enough width to my stance. So if I do have the opportunity to give someone a good elbow strike, I could grab them by the face, grab them by the hair, grab them by the shirt, grab them by the neck, and I want to pull them into that elbow strike just like you would on a knee, okay? So when I do the elbow strike, again, I'm winding up hips and shoulders the opposite way. I'm gonna throw that elbow straight in. You could either do it open-handed or you could do it closed-handed. Closed-handed, you get a little more tight there. Open-handed, it's a little more relaxed, exposes the bone so you can cut through into someone's flesh, into someone's face. So as I do my elbow strike, I'm gonna wind it back as if I'm about to throw a football. I'm gonna wind the weight backwards, I'm gonna throw the weight forward. Shifting weight back to front is a great way to get power, okay? By shifting, I'm putting all the body weight on my back leg and I'm pushing it forward into the target. So that creates speed, it creates torque, it creates power, all kinds of good things, making it a good power strike. So I'm winding it back and I'm bringing it forward. And again, using the speed, thinking about cutting through the target. You want to be aiming right at that jawline to get a good knockout. You could hit someone right in the nose, get a nice break. I'd avoid the teeth just so you don't get a tooth stuck in your elbow. But these are the kind of places we want to aim these elbows to. Don't guide with your face, you'll lose balance. Balance loses power. You want to make sure your head stays over your hips, head over the hips, head over the feet at all times. Just like that to throw the elbow strike and eyes on the target. This technique, I call it a close hand ridge hand. We also call it a slingshot. There's a muscle between the first knuckle and the thumb knuckle right in here, and that muscle, depending on how much you use your hands, is either strong, it's a little mushy, I won't hate you for it. This is great for a taller opponent if you're a smaller opponent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend like I'm swimming, so I'm coming over the top with it. Again, this is another technique you don't wanna fully lock your elbow out, so you have to make sure that you practice with a bent elbow. So one way to practice is have the bend already in your arm. Put your fist to the target. Okay, once your fist is there, you're gonna wind it back and then you're gonna move with it. For this particular one, when you're hitting a rounded target like this, you want to aim with hitting all that forearm and all that fist, okay? You don't just want to hit with the fist on this one. If you have like one of those bobs, or if you're training against a real person, it's okay to hit the face because the face isn't this giant round thing. So you'll have your fist versus their face. It's gonna mean up a little bit safer, and it'll be safer for your elbow. Another thing you can do is aim with a focus mitt or a hand target, because that'll contour and fit perfectly in your hand. Just make sure that your arm stays bent. I cannot stress that enough for safety, okay? So when we do this, I'm gonna be winding back almost like, for this one, you don't really need to have a whole lot of technique to it, which is the beauty of it. It works really well. You can even open your hand and do an open-handed palm to the side of someone's ear and hit that eardrum, a disorient, hit them right in the face with it. It's a nice, great technique. So all I'm doing is I'm winding the shoulder weight back. And again, just like the other things, hips and shoulders. Hips and shoulders is gonna be your technique key for beginners. Utilizing the hip and shoulder, wind up and torque and twist, almost like you're Elvis Presley, and you're gonna kind of do this kind of stuff. So I'm winding the body weight back and I'm throwing this one forward. Winding it back, open palm, boom, and I'm smacking it forward. So I'm winding it here, and as I wind, I'm pushing with my back foot, and I'm rocketing it forward, and as it comes out, I'm gonna whip it in, which creates that bend, boom, and I'm gonna hit that person right in the side of the head. Basically, all it is the opposite of a bottom fist. Bottom fist, then the slingshot. Slingshot's forward, this way here, bottom fist backwards. Really great combos with it. Right in there. So if someone had their back to me, they're choking me from the back, I can come over, bottom fist him in the face, open hand and palm him right in the side of the face, or make that fist hit him in the jawline right there. It's a great detonating combo. Mainly this is for people who are not trained martial artists. These are for people that are just looking for generic basic self-defense. A lot of people say is to run away, but if that person's at 100% and you're at 100% and you run, what if they're a better runner? What if you're not that great of a runner? What if they've been doing track since they were 5? You never know. If that person catches up to you, then what are you gonna do? You can only outrun things so much and so long. If you disorient that person, bring them from 100% down to 60%, then running you'd have a better shot. So if you can learn anything from this, just know, focus on what you're striking, try and stay relaxed, squeeze it to make it tight just inches before impact, only because you want to stay relaxed so you can have as much speed as possible. Speed, technique, follow through, relaxation, and want it. Strike, focus, and hit hard. Don't think about sticking your face out, okay? Remember your balance, important stuff, okay? So I'm Justin Chikawa from the TLSA Karate Studio. If you like this video, let me know that you liked it. I want to know in the comments below how you felt, if you thought it was a great idea. If you think it needed something more, please let me know. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. I put out a video every Monday, so please click the little bell, subscribe button below. Until next time, Tung Su.